Week 5. And it kicks off with Thursday Night Football, Chicago and the Commanders. Welcome in to The Outlook, a part of the DSB Creative, where here we pick 3 teams, we pick 3 games to focus on for the upcoming week, and we dissect, we break down, and we just discuss. We talk football, because that's what we do over here on the DSB Creative channel. We talk football and encourage other ways of thinking about football. Shout out to Zach Wilson, because we trying to encourage a different way of thinking about Zach Wilson. At least he is. Because that last game against the Chiefs, I don't think anyone suspected they'd win, and they didn't, of course. But there were a lot of good takeaways.
8 for the first down. Wilson throwing end zone touchdown.
First of all, that defense is going to win you games. If it ain't going to win you games, it's going to keep you in games, as we saw.
Before the World Series game. So the guy's been around big moments in New York before. Gonna love this one, and it's intercepted.
That offense can win for Zach Wilson. That offensive line, the running backs, the receivers, they could get it done. And like I said, that defense is gonna win for you. Always. They held the Chiefs to 23 points. They forced 2 picks. The only thing was the Jets had a few mistakes that they just couldn't overcome. And with a team like the Chiefs, who are so good offensively, so high-powered offensively, just because of Patrick Mahomes, he gives them more than a puncher's chance every time. And that defense is better than it was last year. That defensive line, they're definitely going to get after the quarterback. And they did that to Zach Wilson. The offensive line held up very well, though. Unfortunately, they couldn't win the game, but like I said, a lot of good takeaways. Zach Wilson showed what he was capable of. He kept them in the game, more than managed the game. Had a few chances to win the game for them, but ultimately that fumble was the last possession he had, and that was it. Going into the game against the Broncos, week 5, the Jets go to Mile High. Zach Wilson, Coach Saleh, this is a must win. Even if you find yourself in a bind, even if it's a close game, you just can't lose. The Broncos are steps and tiers behind Kansas City. Russell is having a phenomenal year, along with Sutton and Mims. I mean, they're doing the damn thing. No run game, though. That's one position to exploit. So they're going to throw the ball. So hopefully the DBs on the Jets, hopefully DJ Reed can do his thing. Hopefully the motherfucker can hit something. Lock something down. Sauce going to do his thing, of course. The defense can be exploited. The Broncos defense can be exploited. Zach, if you were going to have any game to get some confidence back, if there was going to be any game that Stella gets her groove back, Zach, it's this one. Going into Mile High, going into enemy territory, and getting the W. This is going to do immense things for the confidence of Zach Wilson. I believe he was in the Kansas City Chiefs game with zero confidence. He was literally just trying to make something happen. And with everyone winning for him, he was able to make something happen. Have a little bit more confidence in yourself. Like I said, the defense of Denver can be had. Outside of PS2, there's not really much else stopping those receivers from getting open in New York. Allen Lazard, Randall Cobb, and then you got Garrett Wilson, of course. And you can't forget Conklin. This dude, he showed out against the Kansas City Chiefs. And like I said, although it was a losing effort, he still did his thing. I got faith in the Jets. They're going to go in a Mile High, get the job done. Wax the Broncos. Jets going to go up 2-3. In the end, I don't think the Jets make the playoffs. I have to say that now, because you got the Bills and the Dolphins. So even if it was a wild card spot, it's a long shot for the Jets. But the least you can do is secure a spot on the team for next season. That's the least you can do. Show that you're capable of something. Against Kansas City, you did. Now, if you march into Mile High and get the W against Russell Wilson and the Broncos, you can only keep going up from there. The next game we're going to look at, Giants and Dolphins. This is the early game, the 1 o'clock game on Fox. It's a home game for the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins been up and down past number of weeks. 70-point outing against Denver. They got blown out against Buffalo. And now it seems like the Giants are just lying in wait, waiting to get blown out, waiting to get routed. The points per game differential is insane because of that 70-point outing by the Dolphins a couple weeks ago. 43 points to the Giants, 14 points per game. Daniel Jones, like everyone has said, is a different man without Saquon Barkley. If Saquon can play this game, if Saquon were able to play this game, the Giants would have more than that puncher's chance. But with no Saquon, I don't give the Giants any chance. Kayvon Thibodeau on that defense, he's going to do the damn thing every time. He's going to make some noise. And by proxy, the rest of the defense should be able to make something happen. That has not been the case thus far. They haven't been able to pull out but only one win. And I don't think it gets better here. Miami, although they do have problems on that defense, they did have problems, on that defense last week. I don't think that's anything that's going to be habitual. This week, they can use this week to get on the right track against these lowly Giants, 1-3. Good God. Get on the right track against a terrible team. See where you can go from here. Like I said, AFC East, you got the Dolphins and you got the Bills at the top. It's going to be one of those two teams coming out, if not both. And speaking of getting on the right track, Daniel Jones, he's caught a lot of flack this past week. And that $40 million is hanging over his head. That's the main. I think the $40 million is the main reason why he's getting so much flack. I mean, if he got paid middle of the pack money like a bench quarterback, no, people wouldn't be complaining. They'd be like, well, he's doing what his pay grade says.
When they decided to pay Daniel Jones and not pay Saquon Barkley, they basically put themselves on death row.
But because you got that money and your team is 1-3, all these talking heads on TV are gonna look to tear you apart, and that's unfortunate. That's the world we live in. This is the game you play. Hopefully the Giants maybe could get on the right track. I don't see it happening this game. Like I said, the Dolphins last week, I don't think it's habitual. They'll get on the right track this week. I think the Giants just, between coaching and the personnel on the field, they got to figure something out. Something's not meshing. Something's not clicking. There's no lightning, nothing to be caught in the bottle. Daboll, head coach of the year last year, so you would think he'd be able to figure it out. You'd hope he'd be able to figure it out. But this week, Dolphins whooping ass. Going up to 4-1, competing with the Bills for the top of the AFC East. And like I said, one, if not both of those teams are coming out of the AFC East. Definitely ain't the Patriots. And then Sunday night, prime time on NBC, a matchup for the ages, a rivalry as old as time. Cowboys, 49ers. The 49ers, 4-0, led by Christian McCaffrey, C-Mac, CMC, and Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy has been doing the damn thing. He came out of nowhere, essentially. Mr. Irrelevant. Who would have thought that in 2023, Mr. Irrelevant would be the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers? And not only that, they'd be 4-0, putting up 30 points per game. 399 rushing yards per game. And the defense is doing the damn thing, holding the opponents to only 14 points per game. But then you got the Cowboys, who hold their opponents to only 10. Exception, Arizona. As a Cowboys fan, I can honestly say I'm not 100% confident in the Cowboys. The defense is going to be the defense. Micah Parsons, D-Law, Van Der Esch. We still got Gilmore over there. We're going to miss Trayvon Diggs. It's week 5. And still a lot to be desired from Dak Prescott and Tony Pollard. When utilized, we see what Michael Gallup can do. When utilized, we see what CeeDee Lamb can do. When utilized, we see what Ferguson can do. Ferguson, his only problem is he can't hang on to the fucking ball. Oh, man, that's his only problem. The offense hasn't caught fire yet. And I think running into a team like the 49ers, that's really going to be a problem. I don't know if we can rely on our defense to get the picks, to get the scoop and scores like we've been getting, only because this offense in San Francisco is a well-oiled machine. Ayuk, CMC, and Purdy have this thing figured out as the big three over there. And then you've got that defense. Nick Bosa is the only name I have to say. And then you got Fred Warner in the middle. And them DBs come to play. Them DBs come to strap up. So it's not like this is going to be an easy feat for the offense. It's not like this is going to be the Dallas Cowboys week to get on track as an offense. No. This is a week where Execute what you can execute to perfection offensively. That should be in the forefront of your mind. Defensively, you got to get after that quarterback. On the pass plays, you got to get after the quarterback. On the runs, on the screens, good fucking luck. Because C-Mac is a beast in the pass game, in the run game. The Cowboys are going to have their hands full with C-Mac alone. I haven't even mentioned the special weapon, Debo, who's essentially the same thing as C-Mac. He can go in the backfield. He can come out in the receiver position. Like, it don't matter. Interchangeable. So you got Debo to control. You got Ayuk. You got C-Mac. You got to get after the quarterback. You got to stop the run. George Kittle. What are you going to do with George Kittle? I mean, I'm not going to rely on the Dallas Cowboys linebackers to drop into coverage with George Kittle. That whole offense is extremely high powered. 30 points per game is nothing to just shake your finger at. Like I said, I'm not confident the Cowboys pull this one out. I don't think it's going to be close either. This is going to might be a couple scores difference. I'm thinking might be a 14-point difference in this game. I've got the 49ers beating the Cowboys. I'd have to look up how much exactly the 49ers are favored by. I'm going for a couple scores difference, a 2-possession difference in score for this game. Like I said, both teams might be evenly matched as far as defense and as far as pressure that they can put on the opposing offense. But I think as far as offenses go, the 49ers offense has shown through the 4 games this season so far that they're definitely a few steps ahead of where the Cowboys are. The Cowboys are 3-1 based solely on the defense. If that defense was not what it was, the Cowboys might just be 1-3. That offense hasn't really broken through yet. But it's only week 5, and this is going to be another loss that the Cowboys have to take early to learn from. Just like that loss in Arizona. The offense isn't good playing from behind. So we got to figure something out and figure it out fast. Because prime time is coming. That's the outlook on the DSB Creative. I'm Jaron DSB. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all looking forward to in week 5. Who y'all got in the Jets versus the Broncos? Who y'all got in the Giants versus the Dolphins? Who y'all got in the Cowboys versus the Niners? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.